Sometimes the greatest hindrance to the fighting game community is the community itself. What's up everyone, Personality here, bringing you all the news from the wider fighting game community, whether it's from a casual or competitive perspective. So today, before we dive into today's main topic, I just want to make quick mention. King of Fighters 15 has released their patch notes right before tomorrow, September 12th update. With this new patch brings general mechanic changes and character specific changes, and of course the well-anticipated DLC character Duolon will be arriving into King of Fighters 15. But today we want to talk about tournaments. But even before we go to the CEOtaku news, I want to give a shout out to Tampa Never Sleeps. Listen, these guys have had me hooked for the past 2 weeks or so. I've started to follow the tournaments a bit, I would say, religiously now. On Monday they have Guilty Gear Strive, Tuesdays they have King of Fighters 15, Wednesdays they have Street Fighter 6, and then on Fridays they have Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And with the upcoming MK1 right around the corner, I'm pretty sure that will be an addition to the weekly tournament list. So it just so happens with the release of the patch tomorrow, King of Fighters 15's first tournament, we'll be able to see King of Fighters 15's new patch in action tomorrow on Tampa Never Sleeps. Guys, let me tell y'all something. If you've never looked at them, trust me, do yourself a favor, check out. You can see actually all the older tournaments, but definitely be there live. I'm just there almost betting away all my channel points all the time. But we gotta move on to today's main discussion, which is the issue of CEOtaku. So for those of you who may not be too aware of what CEOtaku is, it is an anime convention, also with the largest anime fighter game tournament, all wrapped up into the nice package that is CEOtaku. They've been under a little bit of flame. I wouldn't say it's too much, but it has caused the producer to respond, and that is due to the fact that some fans believe that the tournament is losing its focus, or it's losing its main reason for existence and just selling out to become an sports or just esports culture, just taking over the FGC. So what has recently happened at CEOtaku? Now listen, the lineup for CEOtaku is huge. A bunch of anime games are on display, and other games as well, and other parts of the event. I love it. I just love to see the lineup. It's great. But they're under a bit of fire for including Street Fighter 6 and MK1 on the main stage. So it has been noted by Tong himself, who is also the founder of Tampa Never Sleeps. So that was a little segue there. He is stating that they have actually added on extra streams to accommodate MK1 and Street Fighter 6. Also going further to note that 45% of the players signed up for Street Fighter 6 and MK1 at CEOtaku. This is nothing to brush over. He has said that CEO has lost money. CEOtaku isn't paying the bills to keep it going. Should we not have these two games and risk losing the whole event as a whole going forward? And he's wondering, why is it always CEOtaku that's always under these types of remarks or scrutiny? Now, the reason this is a bit controversial is because of the fact that anime fighters don't necessarily get that much attention in the fighting game community as a whole, as compared to maybe traditional 2D fighters. So what are anime fighters? They're mechanically, it's more so mechanically than aesthetically different from traditional 2D fighters. There's more focus on combos, there's canceling, there's the whole fact that you want to go into using the air more mobility options more so than a traditional 2D fighters, that while you can jump in, you don't dash in the air. So there's this mechanical difference. It's not a surface level aesthetic difference, because I thought Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was an anime fighter, but it's really and truly just a traditional 2D fighter, but it's got that anime aesthetic. Now, the biggest issue with this is that the main patrons, or the main people who have supported CEOtaku over these years, are stating that this takes away from the presence of the anime fighters. The whole fact that MK1 and Street Fighter 6 are here, it's gonna kill us. This is not our culture. This is not what we want. And that is understandable. However, I believe this is a bit unnecessary. It does not take away from the fact that this is still going to be the largest anime fighting game tournament. But I think it would be very ignorant, especially for that part of the community, to just think that MK1 and Street Fighter 6, the two largest games right now, MK1 is gonna be huge, no doubt, should not be allowed at this tournament or even given this amount of presence at the event. This doesn't take away from the fighters. I can't see how. In fact, everybody is getting a platform to perform on, and I think the FGC is already too niche for us to further categorize and break down these games into having all these kind of sections and doing this all across the board. You know, somebody who might just have been playing Street Fighter their whole life might get interested in anime fighters because of CEOtaku. I don't think that this necessarily detracts from the culture. And a matter of fact, legendary fighting game player Justin Wong even had to comment and say, are people really mad that Street Fighter 6 and MK1 are at CEOtaku? I mean, it's expected. These are going to be the hot games, and it will help lower the cost of running the event. So I think it's definitely a case and point where, yes, we want this to be an anime fighting game tournament exclusively, but we've also got to talk about sustainability. And this is a point that a lot of people don't get in the FGC. While we want these games to thrive, while we want these things to prosper, and we love the culture of the fighting game community, you must take a look at sustainability. If this is not approached from a business perspective, then there will be no tournaments running. There will be no real gain for these tournament organizers to even put out this effort, adding on these things. Listen, this is a production. This means they've got to pay for the place. They've got to make sure that vendors can properly set up. They've got to find a way to sell themselves to vendors so that vendors can come and then engage in probably renting a booth and having overall connection with the attendees there. On top of that, is it time for us as fighting game lovers to recognize that we may have to spend a bit more for these events, but we can't not just think about it that way and forego the expense of getting there, accommodation. There's a lot that goes into attending these events as well. But for me personally, I don't think this really detracts from the original intention of the CEOtaku event, and I would love to see MK1 and Street Fighter 6 have a presence. This doesn't take away from the fact that this is still the biggest anime fighting game tournament. I mean, CEOtaku's lineup is crazy. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Are these tournament organizers really pushing their luck? Are they doing it too much out of love? Do we need more strategic minds in the FGC? Because I mean, the way the community kind of reacted to that, it kind of shows me there's still a level of misunderstanding present within the community as to how much work and dedication is put into developing these tournaments. But let me know what you think below in the comment section. Let me know what other tournaments do you guys check out. For me, I'm telling you, Tampa Never Sleeps hits hard. Don't sleep on Tampa Never Sleeps. But you know, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, stay gaming.